Houston Texans make a quiet move, a move that's not going to get the national headlines or anything like that. But I think it's really important to see the direction of the Houston Texans and kind of where their mindset is going forward. We'll get to that player in just a second. If you're new to our channel, we make videos for teams that are ignored by the national media. We know all about it because we are Detroit Lions fans. That's our main channel, Sports Talk Detroit. But we have this channel, and we touch on teams that basically just get ignored by the national media. So we're not going to talk Cowboys on this one, Giants. You know, the national media loves those certain teams. But for the Houston Texans, they're going to be good. They got the quarterback. They got the coach. We've been talking about it, if you've been following our channel, that we think they're going to be good. We just flat out do. Now, it depends on the quarterback and what happens. But they made a move recently that I absolutely love. And is this guy going to be an all-star starter for them? No, but it just shows the direction of the team. And that is the signing of Cameron Dantzler, formerly of the Vikings. He was drafted in 2020 in the third round by the Minnesota Vikings. And let's just look at his background a little bit, and then I'll just show you why this is such an important move by the Texans and why it shows me the direction. So it says, adding Cam to our team adds a little more depth to our cornerback position. D'Amico Ryan says, we'll see where he's at throughout this week and see how he can help us. He was a third-round pick in 2020. He's had injuries. He's been up and down. But when he's in there, he is a productive cornerback. And I know this because in the NFC North with the Lions, Vikings, he was a guy that was just a very good corner. And so there's nothing wrong with this guy whatsoever. So Dantzler appeared in 10 games for the Vikings. He finished the season 50 tackles, pass deflections, fumble recovery, all that stuff. So you look at it and it's like, with cut down days less than a week away, Dantzler is behind the 8 ball to make the 53-man roster. But D'Amico Ryans believes Dantzler is in charge of his own fate. Now, here's why this is interesting. If you are the Texans, you bring in talent, as much talent as you can, whenever you can, no matter what, because you're trying to change the culture. That is what we've seen in Detroit. Bringing in guys, impacting the positional groups, and really raising the bar with talent. So what happens is you think you're good, and then Dantzler comes in, right? And maybe he just levels up, and people are like, all right, raise up. You know, you challenge that cornerback room a little bit. Then the corners, the safeties are seeing that. Then the wide receivers want to show out a little bit. So there's only a week left to go. So there's a high possibility that Dantzler doesn't even make the team. But the fact that the Texans are going out and just bringing in talent, even with a week to go before the season starts, tells me that they get it. They get that talent has to be constantly flowing in. Competition has to be going. We have to challenge other guys. We have to bring in fresh blood when we can to really challenge each other. Because if you look at the cornerback position, they're pretty much set. I mean, Desmond King, Griffin, Stingley, Nelson, they've got some nice corners, but Dantzler just is a guy that's going to make you figure out, what do you have, right? What, I don't know, is Griffin good? Like, where really are we? Because if Dantzler can't come in and just be immediately better than these two, then okay, good. We're in a good shape. If he comes in and he's better than them, then it shows you that, all right, we weren't where we thought corner-wise or defensively or whatever, right? So always bringing in talent is really important, because we keep talking about this team as a team that there's no reason why they can't be pretty good. When you look at CJ Stroud, obviously it starts and ends with him. He's got to play well, and he can't just be like terrible out of the gates, and he can't, assuming that he's better than what the Texans had last year, right? In Davis Mills and Case Keenum, like, come on, you got to be better than them. Let's just assume that. Then you've got DP at running back. Love him. Nico Collins, Robert Woods, Noah Brown, Tank Dell. Like, that receiving group is nothing bad with that. I've done a video on Nico Collins. He was a Michigan guy. Really good wide receiver that just is right there from breaking out. So you've got that. Cool. Tight end's fine. Offensive line good. So offensively, you're in really good shape. Now defensively, you get a cornerstone in Will Anderson Jr. We'll see what he does. Sheldon Rankins has always been good. Collins, secondary is good. Jimmy Ward, Petrie. And on top of that, you have a defensive-minded head coach, or a coach that, defensive-minded is the wrong word. He's a coach that knows how to push the right buttons defensively. did it with San Francisco. The dude is just knows what to do defensively, gets the culture and the city and just the dynamics of Houston. And so like I always thought that was not that big of a deal until Dan Campbell showed up for the Lions, and you see what it means to have a guy that kind of gets it. And he's not just like, I'm a coach here, I don't care. No, it's the whole thing. It really is. Football's too big. There's only 32 teams. The NFL is too big for you to just have a coach that's like, I'm just going to coach. No, you got to be great with the media. You got to be great with the city, the fans. You got to get them. You got to know what they like, and they love this coach. They love DeMeco Ryans, former player. The energy's there. The quarterback's there. So you got the head coach and the quarterback. So now the rest of it will just start to come. And Texans fans know, hey, we're not going to win the Super Bowl probably this year, but we don't care. We want to just be in games. We want to be competitive. We want to just, start like 3-2, like something kind of like, hey, we're kind of doing this. And yes, do we end up with 7 wins? Okay, cool. But hey, let's just kind of be in the mix for a few weeks and have some fun and watch our team and fill the stadium and cheer them on. Like that's what Lions fans have wanted forever. It's like, I just want to be competitive. I just want to be on the right path to something. And you can be when you have the quarterback and the coach. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love that they're bringing in talent. Keep bringing it in, right? Keep bringing it in, challenge others, and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.